What's going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video, and today we are going to be taking a look at a Mega Camerupt-EX deck. Now, this is a promo that just came out in a Mega Camerupt collection box. Really cool product over there, and they're also partnering along with the Camerupt was a Mega Sharpedo box, and I bet you can guess what tomorrow's video is going to be. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be taking a look at Mega Sharpedo as well. I don't think that either of these cards are necessarily great. I don't think either of them will see competitive play necessarily, but I definitely wanted to give them both a try. They're two very cool Pokemon, so definitely, you know, for the Camerupt fans out there, we've got to get a Mega Camerupt deck going and just see how it goes. We'll see if we can snag a win or two with this deck today on the ladder, but without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the deck list and see what we have to work with. So, Mega Camerupt-EX, 230 HP Mega Evolution Pokemon. That is a lot of HP. It is going to be hard for a lot of stuff to take one-hit knockouts on this guy, and yeah, Mega Camerupt. That's a big dude. Look at him erupting there out of his spine. Japanese words coming across the card. But let's go ahead and look at what this card does. Magma Eruption, 120 damage. You may discard the top 3 cards of each player's deck. If you do, this attack does 40 more damage for each energy card you discarded in this way. So, if we discard 3 energies between the two of our decks, that's 240 damage, which is enough to knock out basically everything that we could potentially go up against. Now, we may not always want to do this. That's why it says you may discard the top 3. There may be instances where, for example, 120 damage is enough to knock out a Shaymin-EX. We can take a quick 2 prizes there. We don't have to discard the top 3 cards of our deck. There are times where discarding the top 3 cards can definitely hurt us. We can discard things that aren't energies, things that we might need later on down the road, but it could also hurt our opponent. We could discard some of their resources potentially. So, Magma Eruption, kind of an interesting attack. We'll see if it bites us in the butt today or if it is super clutch and we get to hits for some big damage. But let's go ahead and look at the rest of the deck list here. Pretty standard stuff, not a lot of fancy stuff going on here. We are running a 4-3 Camerupt line. Camerupt-EX has 2 attacks here. We've got Tumbling attack, 30 damage, plus flip a coin if heads. This attack does 30 more damage, so 60 for 2, not the worst if we flip heads. And on things that are weak to fire out there, that's for 2 energies, 120 damage is not the worst if we flip heads. And then Explosive Jet, definitely an interesting attack that I could see us using at some point. Discard as many Fire Energy cards attached to your Pokemon as you like. This attack does 50 damage times the number of energy cards you discarded. So it says all of your Pokemon, meaning we can discard it off the bench, anything like that. I wanted to potentially use Burning Energies in this deck. We're not using them though, due to the fact due to the fact that we're using Max Elixirs in this list, and Burning Energies don't really work with Max Elixir, of course. But let's go and look at the other things. We are running 1 copy of Hoopa-EX, just so good in these Mega Evolution decks, getting out 3 Pokemon EX from our deck. 2 copies of Shaymin-EX for the setup ability, just to draw more cards, and then we're also running a copy of Salamence-EX with that Beastly Fang attack for a fire and a double colorless. This attack does 50 more damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. So this will be really good in the Mega Rayquaza matchup, in the Turbo Darkrai matchup, in the Mewtwo matchup. All those matchups, Salamence can definitely hit very hard and take a couple of prizes for us. So let's go ahead and expand this and look at the rest of the deck. Not a lot of fancy stuff happening. Pretty straightforward. 4 copies of Max Elixir. We're just going to get these energies into play as quickly as possible. We do have a Fire double colorless attack cost, meaning, you know, we need multiple attachments, so anything that'll help us speed that process up, Max Elixir is going to be great there. Of course, we can only Max Elixir onto our Camerupt-EXs, but generally that will be fine. That's all we pretty much need. 2 copies of Mega Turbo as well, letting us put basic energy cards from our discard pile onto our Mega Pokemon. 1 copy of Super Rod here, just putting back energies from our discard pile into our deck, or Pokemon, whichever we need at that time. This is also good in the late game for putting back 3 energies to use Magma Eruption to take a knockout on something we need to KO potentially. 4 copies of Trainers Mail, just the maximum consistency here. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, and 4 copies of ES Seeker. those 3 cards, guys, we're going to have them in pretty much every single deck. You guys know how they go at this point. 2 copies of Lysandre, bringing up whatever our opponent has on the bench. We do hit exactly 120, so if we can take a couple of Shaymin knockouts, that'll definitely make things a lot easier for us later on down the road. 3 copies of N, forcing our opponent to shuffle their hand in and draw cards equal to their number of prize cards. We might go down early, so disruption in the late game is definitely very strong. 1 copy of Olympia. We do have a hefty 4 retreat cost, so using these Olympias to cycle around our Camerupt can definitely be nice. 1 copy of, or 4, excuse me, 4 copies of Professor Sycamore to discard our hand, draw 7. 4 copies of the Camerupt Spirit Link just to maximize our chances of drawing into it. 2 Float Stones just to give our guys free retreat if we need to. If we start off with the Camerupt, we need to Max Elixir onto another one to get the first one attacking. We might Float Stone our first Camerupt. We'll see what happens. 4 copies of double Colorless Energy. Everything requires a DCE to attack. The Salamence, the Camerupt, and the Mega Camerupt. So 4 DCE I think is a good inclusion here. And 10 Fire Energies, allowing us to have pretty good odds of hitting our Max Elixirs and gives us a decent amount of energies to use with Mega Turbo later, Super Rod them back, discard them with Magma Eruption, all those things. So, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead, hop on to the Versus ladder, see if we can get a game, see if we can snag a win today or not. Looks like we are going up against a Volcanion deck to start off, which is definitely not ideal, since we are weak to water, and Volcanion-EX is a water type, and we lose the flip, meaning my opponent will go first, but this means we could potentially get a big turn off with Salamence-EX. Salamence-EX is definitely going to be probably the card that can swing this matchup for us. So, interesting hand here, so thankfully it's a mulligan. We got 3 Trainers Mails in our opening hand, but let's see what else we get. So our opponent now knows what we are playing. They see what we have to work with. Taking a couple of mulligans here. A 3rd mulligan, though. Let's see if we can find a basic. I guess, what, we run a decent amount of basics. We should hit most of them, but unfortunately we do get a Shaymin start. Not ideal, but it does happen. But we have a Hoopa to go off of to grab our Camerupts, to grab our Mints, to grab another Shaymin. So, on to my opponent's turn. They're going to get things going, and let's see what they can do. 2 Volcanion-EXs is the start for them. And if they do bench a bunch of Volcanions, we'll just go in with Salamence and see if we can get something going there. Like I said, guys, we are weak to water, and Volcanion-EX being a dual type will hit for weakness on us, so that is not very good. That is definitely not good, but we might be able to get a big knockout here early with the Salamence, because he's already he's going to bench this, and if he plays the Shaymin down, that is 5 EX Pokemon coming into play, meaning we will hit for 260 damage. That's a lot of damage. Gonna go ahead and steam up, get some fires in the discard pile, and let's see, Shaymin most likely. 3 steam ups, so this guy just had a ton of energy in his opening hand, and he hit his Max Elixir. That's pretty crazy. But we'll see the Shaymin setup coming out, and let's see what he gets. I maybe would have attached one of those as opposed to steaming up, but man, he's already got 5 energies in his discard pile. That is a crazy first turn, and a Sycamore. 7 energies in his discard pile turn 1. So Magma Eruption is not gonna likely hit any energies from my opponent's deck. We might hit them from our deck still, but we'll see what happens here. If we can get a turn 1 attack off with our Salamence, that is gonna be a lot of damage. We actually could use the Scorched Earth Stadium for ourselves, but we'll go ahead and Hoopa Scoundrel Ring, grab out a Camerupt, Salamence, and I guess we just grab another Camerupt. We can Ultra Ball for the Shaymin. I think that is okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Now we'll see if we hit both of these Max Elixirs. We will attach this fire here. If we only hit one, we will hold the fire and dig for a DCE. There's one. First one definitely going on Salamence. See if we can hit another one. We do not. So we need to dig for the double Colorless to attach the energy this turn. So let's go ahead and bench the Camerupt. We can Ultra Ball the fire and the Sycamore to just dig extra cards deeper. I think I kind of want to hang on to the Fire to have a draw out with Scorched Earth, though. So I guess we just discard these two and grab the other Shaymin. I should check and see. Yeah, we do have both of our Float Stones, which is very important. And all 4 double Colorless. And we'll save the Fire Energy to Scorched Earth on the other side of the Shaymin. So drawing 5 cards here. Maybe could have discarded the Trainer's Mail and the, yeah, that's not looking pretty. Double Colorless and Float Stone. We got an N. Okay, so that's a good N. Yeah, we'll go ahead and N. Yeah, maybe could have discarded, with the Ultra Ball, we could have discarded the Fire. Oh, but we got the Float Stone and the DCE. Everything we needed. That's pretty good. That's looking pretty good. So we'll take a knockout here, and it'll be pretty hard for him to return a knockout right away. Beastly Fang coming out for 260 damage. Of course, 50 damage times the amount of Pokemon EX our opponent has in play. But we don't have any Spirit Links down yet, so that's something we're gonna need to find. And I don't really want to Sycamore away our Super Rod if we don't have to. We may have to, though. So, via Seeker here, let's see what they go for. Oh, well, we'll see. Maybe Lysandre, maybe Sycamore. They're deciding. They may want to try to stick something active, which looks like they are going to do. Lysandre, what are you going to bring up? Probably a Camerupt, I would imagine. Sure enough. They do bring up a Camerupt. We can get a Float Stone on this guy. We could also get Spirit Link, Mega, and double Mega Turbo. That is much less likely, especially since we just top decked the Float Stone. But I think we'll go ahead and see maybe if we can get that stuff. That might be a little greedy to try to do. All they did was Lysandre. Let's play the Trainer's Mail first. I think we might actually have to end here. We could actually Olympia. That's probably best. Maybe I should be playing a... If I played a Hex Maniac, I would like kind of where we're at better. Or Silent Labs would be nice in here too. Because we use all our abilities like turn 1. Yeah, we may just have to end, guys. Yeah, I think we are just going to end. We'll just click done. We'll go ahead and attach this energy here. We'll go ahead and get a Float Stone. And we're going to end. I couldn't discard the Mega Turbo or the Super Rod. I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to. And this is a decent hand for the next turn. So we'll go ahead and retreat. If you Lysandre something else, we have the Olympia. And we'll take another knockout. 260 once again, since he did bench the other Volcanion. And we get a Mega Camerupt. So hopefully, like a Spirit Link top deck would probably be the best. And he's going to energy retrieval here. So he needs 2 steam ups. Nope. Yeah, 2 steam ups in order to knock us out. There's 1. And does he get the other one? Float Stone goes down onto Volcanion. Float Stone coming down onto the other Volcanion. So he's playing 3 Float Stones. Very interesting. Ultra Ball here. Grabbing his last Shaymin, I suppose. Oh, no, it must be prized, and he didn't remember it was prized. So we may have gotten very lucky right now. We may have just gotten really, really lucky that he forgot his last Shaymin was prized. Because now he's going to give up 2 prizes. He's not going to knock us out. He's got to give up 2 prizes somehow. And hope to top deck something next turn. Wow, a big mistake from my opponent that could cost them big time. Wow. Okay, let's see what they do. They might just give us the Hoopa. They could retreat and just sacrifice either Volcanion or Shaymin, but they I mean, Hoopa's probably the biggest thing they would get rid of. If they play Super Rod, maybe they give us the Shaymin so they can like Super Rod it back, maybe. My opponent's probably just trying to figure out what they want to do. They're already down 2 VS Seekers, 2 Sycamores, and just a pass. Wow. That is so bad for my opponent. I don't want to end, of course. May just Sycamore. We still have Super Rod, so we can put back this dude if we need to. I don't want a Scorched Earth before a Sycamore, though. If we had a Lysandre, I definitely would play that. We could attach. I think we will just go ahead and attach. And then Sycamore. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go ahead and Sycamore. We do get rid of... You know, we go down to just 2 VS Seekers left. We lose a Camerupt and a Mega. We don't need another Camerupt right now, though. We need to find Spirit Links is what we need. And we whiff the Max Elixir. Oh, we probably should have mailed first, but I think it is okay. Because we'll just come in and Beastly Fang here for 260. So now we're only hitting 210 with Beastly Fang, but we have a Lysandre for a Shaymin, or we can Lysandre one of these guys. So we can't knock this one out, but we'll see what he gets. Oh, top decks the VS Seeker. So there we go. Our opponent makes a mistake, but ends up being able to draw a supporter anyway. They didn't have an N, so since they were not able to N us, all we have to do on the next turn is Lysandre up Shaymin-EX. Unless he gets a double Steam Up and takes a knockout, then we have to find a Spirit Link off of the mail, plus Ultra Ball for Mega, and then Lysandre. But this Shaymin-EX is definitely going to be what we're going to try to bring up, and yeah, just a concession from my opponent. Must not have had a way to knock out the Salamence, and that is game number 1. Taking a win with Mega Camerupt. Not something I thought we were going to do today, but, you know, it worked out. So let's go ahead, grab another game, see if we can get 2 wins with Mega Camerupt. What? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But I think this is probably the best way right now to build Camerupt. Just being able to accelerate energies in the early turns. You may want to play like a Baby Volcanion to get energies back later. I've also thought of like an energy recycler to put a bunch of energies back into the deck, but I think this is good for right now. Looks like we're going up against a Passimian deck, so very interesting. We'll see how this matchup goes. It's pretty hard for Passimian to take a knockout on a big Mega Camerupt. So we do win the flip, so we will choose to go first, of course. Oh yeah, and these sleeves are awesome that my opponent's using. These are in a bundle in the shop right now. The Zoroark bundle, I believe, so definitely go pick those up if you want to grab them. Super pretty. Like the sleeves a lot. Also like the red ones we're using too. Those were in a bundle a while ago. So double mulligan here. Starting off, we've mulliganed a couple times both games today. And we've started Shaymin both games today, so that's fun. Isn't that great? Oh yeah, so good. But we do get to go first. Hopefully our other Shaymin isn't prized, but we do have Sycamore in our hand, so that is nice. But we'll see what we top deck here, and that will decide what we discard with Ultra Ball. So we can Ultra Ball away an Ultra Ball and a Sycamore, which I think we will do. We could get rid of the 2 Sycamores, but I want to leave a draw supporter in our hand, potentially. So our opponent's playing Passimian, meaning Salamence will probably be useless. So let's go ahead here with Hoopa-EX, use the Scoundrelling ability, search out 2 Camerupts, yeah, and a Shaymin, I suppose. Go ahead and get these guys out into play. Go ahead and bench these dudes, then we will Trainers Mail. Get a Camerupt Spirit Link, so that's very good. Alright, and Max Elixir does whiff on number 1. Let's see if we can hit number 2. I should have checked to see kind of our prizes a little better. And then we hit 3 on this one, so that's nice. So we'll go ahead and get the attachment there, and we'll Shaymin set up for 5 cards. Do still have the Sycamore in our hand, of course. Get Salamence, get the Mega. Wow, that is not a pretty hand. Float Stone is something we need, though. I'm pretty sure Super Rod was in the deck. I actually don't remember it, to be honest, but we'll go ahead and get the Float Stone. Our opponent could technically hit a turn 1 KO on a Shaymin. Okay, so we get this, we get this. They can't knock out a Hoopa, though. We probably shouldn't have put that Spirit Link down. That was honestly a mistake. Not something I considered, but we'll go ahead and retreat into the Hoopa. They can't knock out the Hoopa. Oh no, they play Mew! I totally forgot about Mew, the basic Mew. which hits for weakness on Hoopa. I realized as soon as I did that. That's so bad. But we can Sky Return Shaymins. We can't Sky Return Hoopa, but... And that also forces him to switch. And since he's put a Fury Belt here, I'm thinking not super likely. Why would he discard double Colorless? Why would he discard his double Colorless and a Special Charge and a Fighting? That is very strange to me. He does get the Enhanced Hammer, which is unfortunate. I have no idea why he would discard a DCE. Was it an accident? What reasoning could he have for making that play? I mean, and he had a Fighting Energy, so he could have used Fling. But he'll probably target down this. Wow. I'm very surprised that that's what my opponent decided to do. Double VS Seeker. Not great. We're down all of our Sycamores already. I didn't even realize that. Alright. Need to draw cards. This sucks, but sometimes it is what you have to do. We can draw into Camerupt or Mega Turbo would be good, or Max Elixir and the Mega. So let's see. Oh, not the highest odds. Well, decent odds. Do we want to Ultra Ball first? I don't think so. Nice. Thank goodness. So this will be our first massive magma eruption, excuse me, where we're going to discard the cards, and we need 1 energy between our 3 decks. So hopefully we don't discard useful resources, but we'll see what happens. We will discard. Didn't discard any energies. We did discard a double Colorless from my opponent's side, took a knockout. I think we discarded a Mega Turbo, and we discarded some stuff that was not... did we discard the DCE or did we Sycamore that? No, we didn't discard the DCE because we discarded his. But they're going to go ahead and revive, get out another... I don't know what we discarded. Does it tell us? We probably discarded stuff that wasn't worth discarding. Used its Magma Eruption. It doesn't tell you what we discarded, so... Okay. Fighting Fury Belt comes down onto the Mew. We don't have to discard energies in order to knock this out, of course, which is very, very important. I guess we should have Ultra Balled for the Mega Camerupt before the Max Elixir. Do we have that, or did we just take that off prizes? We may have just taken that off prizes. Never mind. Yeah, we do still have, we have 1 Mega Turbo left. So yeah, a non-EX matchup, probably not the greatest for us, but we will do our best to get the win here, and just a pass. My opponent's making some questionable plays for sure. So we'll go ahead and attach the energy. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away this dude and the Fire Energy. I guess an N. No, we need to. We're out of Sycamore, so we want to keep our draw supporters in the deck. 1 Max Elixir, 1 Mega Turbo, 2 VS Seekers, 5 energies total. Okay. Did my opponent play a supporter? I was too busy worried about what we discarded. I don't think that they... Oh yeah, they did. They played Professor Sycamore, so we'll go ahead and end. And we're not going to discard any cards here, of course. Double VS Seeker, nice. We have access to Olympia. And we're not going to play the Max Elixir. We're Magma Eruption, say no. Because we do take a knockout without having to discard. And we take a Camerupt off the prizes. Tumbling Attack actually can knock out a Mew with if we flip a heads. So might be something relevant, but hopefully not. And how many Fire Energies are down here at this point? 2? They're just going to retreat into this dude. DCE team play for 369. Oh, he's going to delinquent us. That's unfortunate. We'll get rid of you, you, and you. Keeping the VS Seekers, we have the Super Rod. But he's going to team play here for 100. Right? 100? So So Camerupt Spirit Link not going to do us any good. We could N, but I think we want to hold it. We could Super Rod to put energies back. We actually probably need an energy attachment this turn. Actually, Lysandering up a Passimian is probably the best option. So I think we're going to do that. We're only going to have one VS Seeker left. This will make it a little harder for him to take a knockout this turn. We're not going to discard the cards, of course. Take a prize. Camerupt Spirit Link, once again, not going to be useful. So this is our last VS Seeker. I did not expect that we would win either of the games we played in today's video, and we're in a decent position where we might actually win both games we play today. So he's going to play Teammates. This guy's list is also very weird, but he's also made some pretty questionable plays in my opinion. Like, I don't understand any reason to discard the energies on turn 1. But I also could have misplayed that first turn when I retreated into the Hoopa-EX. So we have 2 DCEs in the deck, at least. Yeah, 2 DCs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 energies between the deck and the prizes. I think we did prize a couple energies, 1 or 2. Let's see what he prized. Did he prize a Passimian? Nice. Prized a Mew. Prized a Revive. All good things. But he did just Teammates, so I imagine he probably got a Revive with his teammates. I would think, unless he's discarded them all. No, maybe he only plays 3. Maybe he only plays 3 Revive, and the last one was indeed prized. The Bursting Balloon actually would cause us to be knocked out, but we have Olympia in our hands, which might save us, which is what we might end up doing. He's actually going to use a Shaymin here, so putting the Shaymin on the board also gives us a win condition. We may Lysander the Shaymin this turn. And then we have 1 Camerupt to take 1 more knockout. He does have the Bursting Balloon. We do get an energy attachment, which is super important. And that makes me feel better about Lysandering the Shaymin this turn. Yeah. I think we are just going to Lysander Shaymin. We're going to put this down because we don't want to draw it off of an N or something like that. Because if we Lysander Shaymin, we have 2 DCEs left in the deck. Pretty decent chances to grab 1, and then we can knock anything out with this Camerupt. After a Super Rod, we can discard energies, most likely. So I think this is correct. We're going to hold the Super Rod still. Magma Eruption, not going to discard anything. So that was our last VS Seeker, but I think that was the correct time to go ahead and play it. See what we take here. Trainers Mail and Fire Energy, good things to grab. So with, especially since we do have 1 Mega Turbo left, we could potentially get that off of the Trainers Mail, which would be really good. So, yeah, my opponent, he can Sky Return to knock us out if he gets another Shaymin down. And he's pretty safe to put another Shaymin down because he probably sees we're out of VS Seekers. Or no, out of Lysanders, but we do have 1 more Lysander left. I actually didn't realize. I thought both of them were down here. And he's just going to team play, take the knockout. So all we need this turn is the Mega Turbo or a DCE on the top deck. Let's see what we get. DCE wins us the game. And let's see if we can get our Mega Turbo here. We did not get the Mega Turbo. So do we N and hope to hit the DCE? There's 2 in there. I think we're so far ahead at this point. He has no way to knock out the Camerupt. He has no way to knock out the Camerupt, so I think we would actually be okay with just attaching the energy, playing the Super Rod, and then playing the N. That's what I'm thinking right now. Saying we're not going to win this turn, but we're going to have so many energies in the deck, it's going to be really hard for us to not win. And I think this is our correct line of play. And we're just going to put back 3 Fire Energies. I would like to have maybe, like we could have Ultra Balled, discarded the Spirit Link and the Fire, then Super Rodded to just thin out a little more. Maybe we could have done that since we're only getting 1 card here, but We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're going to go ahead and play the end. We draw the Mega Turbo for the game, actually. Wow. What a draw off of ending ourselves to 1 card. We get the Mega Turbo to win the game. We'll go ahead and we're going to Magma Eruption. We're going to discard the cards, because why not? Do as much damage as we can. We only discarded 1 energy with it. So there we go. Our last Lysandre actually ended up being prized, but there is Mega Camerupt-EX. Let me know what you guys think. I had a ton of fun making this video. I thought we were going to lose 2 games. We ended up winning 2 games. I still don't think the deck is very good, but it's fun to play. Definitely check it out. Give it a try for yourself if you have the Mega Camerupts on TCGO or in real life. Fun deck to play. Maybe Camerupt's your favorite Pokemon. Maybe you want to check him out, take him for a spin. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely leave a like down below. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links to those things are always in the description of every single one of my videos. I will be streaming tonight, so I hope to see you guys there. And that is going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here, guys. And until next time, take care.